YouTube. Thank you for joining me in this video, and for all of you who are new to my channel, this is my 2007 Porsche Cayman, what I recently got from Copart, and this is in overall is my antique German cars garage. So as you know, this car was listed as a flood damage, and initially when I did inspect the car on Copart, I didn't find any flood signs at all, except the module that is responsible for the rear end, like hatch, tail lights, spoiler, weren't working. And as you know, I did open it up and found it's been completely toast. So there was water in the car, and I just got the replacement module. Guess from where? From Touareg. Yes, you heard me right. I did bought one on my local junkyard for 11 bucks from 2007 Volkswagen Touareg, and I'll show you guys how I was able to fit the Touareg module into this Cayman, because it's not a plug and play. Let's say the modules looks identical, similar, but they're not plug and play, and you need to play around with it to make it fit. So here are the rear control modules. One is from my Cayman, the one is fried, and this one I purchased for 11 bucks from my local junkyard from 07 Volkswagen Touareg. And let's take a look inside. All right, I already did desolder the processor, this one from Touareg control module, put it aside. I did desolder the processor from the Cayman and solder it back to Touareg model, and did made the trick. Not only that, actually, I needed to move some components as well, because for example those two capacitors weren't here, so I did take them from my fried Cayman module from here and solder them in here. There are some few other discrepancies, like there are few components missing on my Cayman module, however they are here in Touareg module. They probably are not required for Cayman, so I don't know yet if I'm gonna desolder those, few components which are extra in here and missing here. And I found as well that, like, let's say there are 3 capacitors in Cayman module and there are no capacitors in Touareg module, so I probably may move those in here. But I mean, in overall, it's already working in this state in my Cayman with this Cayman processor put back here, because this processor contains all the programming data for the car. Those modules are like 95% identical. And for example, if you got some problems with any of the modules, I mean any of the components on your rear control module, you can purchase one from Touareg, let's say, or from Cayenne, and simply use it as a donor. It's fully compatible except those processors, because the processor is tied to the car, let's put it that way. The rest the rest may be transferred back and forth. So this is how I fixed my Cayman for 11 bucks, which is not bad. and pretty much after I did play around with the module, the car is sorted out, almost, except I just tore it apart because I wanted to make sure there is no moisture left, and I got this humidifier going on, because actually this padding, or like this styrofoam padding or whatever it is, it's actually wet, but the carpets on the top are completely dry, so you cannot feel there is any moisture inside. But so I did remove the whole central console. I did remove the seats, of course, and I'm running this dehumidifier just to remove as much moisture as possible, since I want to make sure there is no mold coming or anything else. I just want to make it right. But other than that, I did manage to open the rear hatch. Now I got all the parts here laying around, a lot of screws, panels, etc. But yeah, once I'm gonna dry it out completely, I'm gonna put it back together, and the car gonna be pretty much ready to go. I'm gonna replace the oil, because looks like, based on the Carfax, it was replaced about 10,000 miles ago. And I do not recall if I told you before, I got a second key. You won't be able to guess how I did get it. So what happened is, I was going through the paperwork in the glove box, and I found like the car manuals, and there was the registration of the previous owner. I did Google the name I found, and Google gave me the landline phone number. I did give a call to this number. I explained who I am, that I did purchase the car that previously belonged to you, or that kind of to that person. And this lady was kind enough to find the second key and to mail it to me, which is good. She told me the story about this car, and also she sending me the floor mats from that car, what she happened to have. For the floor mats, I did send them the prepaid label, because I don't want them to pay money for something they did not obliged to do at all. But it's fun how the things are turning out. A really nice looking car. For you, it's the next moment in the video. For me, it's the next day, after the next day, after the next few days, after the next day. And today I'm finally preparing to put it back together, because I've been running the dehumidifier for the few days, as well as the heater, you can see back in there as well, just to make sure the temperature is high and any possible moisture is evaporating and the dehumidifier is catching it. So it wasn't too bad. I did feel some moisture underneath the carpets, and I wanted to make it sure that nothing gonna be molding, or whatever you want to call it. I wanted to make it right, so it's completely dry, and I won't have any doubts like what to expect. Right now I know everything is super dry, probably the most dry Cayman in the country because it's been running probably for a good 5 or maybe even 7 days, I don't know, like both of them. Usually I did disconnect the heater overnight, just to make sure I won't burn the house down, but right now I am ready to take the heater and the humidifier away, and I'm gonna start to put the interior back in place, together with you guys. Keep watching. I just detailed it a little bit. It's kind of chilly today, and I did use this Carnauba cleaner. It's like literally amazing stuff. Literally amazing stuff. It just makes the car, you know, just shine. And if your car is not too dirty, there is not too much sand on it, it's kind of dry wash and wax for the car. It just works amazing. Take a look. I'm gonna put the link in the description below for this stuff that I do use personally. I did use it on this Mercedes, on that Beamer, and I'm using of course this on this Cayman. So as you see, it's perfectly runs and drives. The spoiler is working. All the lights in the back are working. Actually, let me turn off the lights. And yeah, my floor mats came from this lady, the previous owner of the car. So it's all set. I just ordered the new filter. I ordered new like oil. I would like to replace it. However, I did find it was replaced literally like 300 miles ago, but I don't want to take chances. It's better to be safe than sorry. I'm gonna replace the oil once again. I'm gonna top off the coolant, and the buttons are working. I did remove this cover just to inspect how the engine looks like. I removed the filter. I found it a little bit dirty, so obviously they did not replace the filter when they did replace the oil, which concerns me a little bit. But I'm gonna do it myself. I won't shoot the video about the oil replacement because there are a bunch of them on YouTube already, and that's it pretty much. So Cayman project is finished. I'm gonna enjoy this car for a little bit. Thank you for joining me in this venue with this 2007 Porsche Cayman. If you are not subscribed, consider subscribing because more videos are coming. And thank you very much, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.